Hi, everybody, and thanks for being here. It's Thursday and the 3rd, and before we go any further, let's talk about Wednesday and the 2nd. My apologies for the audio problems that Foothills was experiencing last night. It's something they've had, of course, we all know, intermittently for a while, and they've been struggling to find the fix, and actually had, we do believe, for the most part, at least last night's was unrelated to the prior problems that we had been having, and actually resulted, it's my understanding, from the recent construction of their new, I'll call it a control center on Cold Branch behind our offices to replace the existing one that's been there for decades. That switchover resulted in just a bit of a break in communication between my equipment and theirs and resulted in no audio, and for that I am very, very sorry. It was an important program, as they all are, but I started the program last night by talking about it being Wednesday, and November the 2nd, which yesterday made 24 years of programming for myself here behind this desk at this location. Of course, the prior one with a different desk. Nonetheless, I want to thank you, as I did last night, for your support throughout the years and for being here as much as you have, and for all those folks as well who called last night to let us know we were having audio issues. I know it gets kind of crazy here when that happens, but I wish to thank you all for letting us know, and it lets me know that you're watching and missing the show, and we are forever grateful for that, without a doubt. So with that said, I'll replay a couple of last night's major headlines. We'll talk about some others, including early no-excuse voting, which began across Kentucky today, as it did here in MAGOFFIN County. I hope to have some numbers for you on how many votes were cast today, approximately. I will have some election numbers for you in some form or fashion, most certainly. Numbers via your forecast were high today, beautiful and warm. The weekend, Saturday, not stacking up to be quite as nice as what we had thought. More clouds than not, definitely more wind than what we would like, but temperature's still on the mild side, and overall a pretty nice Licking Valley RECC 7-day to go through. And I will go through that. We'll begin with our top headline in just a few moments. We'll take a quick look at some voting numbers before we talk about a major economic announcement that I had announced on last night's program. Stay tuned.
Hello, MAGOFFIN County. Matt Wireman here, asking for a second term as Judge Executive. We spent a lot of time in crisis management mode the last 4 years with the pandemic and multiple natural disasters, but my administration didn't lay down. We kept pushing to make MAGOFFIN County the best it can be. We have repaired and improved our county roads, facilities, and parks, have a state-of-the-art 911 center, and started forever memorializing our military heroes. We have our very own animal shelter, and our horse park is now the talk of the region, drawing in riders from multiple states. And I'm sure you've noticed the inmate worker program that provides much-needed, cost-effective services to our community. I'm excited to say that our industrial park will soon be classified as build ready. This is a major accomplishment, and yes, we have businesses looking to locate here. During my time as your county judge, my administration has moved our county in the right direction. We've done this by making decisions based on the best interests of the county. We've been fiscally responsible, and we've complied with the law. I want to keep our county's progress going, but I need you. We saw low voter turnout in the May primary, with elections in neighboring counties decided by just 2 votes. Your vote matters. I ask that you exercise your right to vote and cast your ballot for me to continue as Judge Executive. Thank you.
Banking from home or on the go has never been easier and will forever be an important and necessary part of life. And Sagersville National has been and will always be at the forefront of meeting and exceeding your financial needs and giving you the safest and most worry-free online and mobile banking so you can worry about the important things, like what's for dinner. They're there when you need them at the main and branch locations of the Sagersville National Bank.
Hello, I'm John Kevin Holbrook, candidate for Circuit Judge in Johnson, Lawrence, and Martin counties. I'm running for Circuit Judge because you, the voters, deserve to decide who is best qualified to be your next Circuit Judge. I was honored to serve you as your District Judge for many years, and I'm ready, willing, and able to serve you as your next Circuit Judge. You deserve to have a candidate with several years of judicial experience for your consideration. You're hiring a Circuit Judge to serve you for the next 8 years, so please give this decision your most careful consideration. I trust your judgment as you have trusted mine. If I'm to consider myself the best candidate, it is because of my experience while serving as your district judge and since then serving as a Mountain Region Assignment Judge. Additionally, I served as Special Circuit Judge in our counties in 2003. During that time, I effectively fulfilled the duties of Circuit Judge, so I'm most capable of doing it for you for the next 8 years. Thank you, and I trust I've earned your vote by how I've conducted myself and worked for you as your judge.
Hello, MAGOFFIN County voters. My name is Andrew Reisner. I'm running for Magistrate in District 1, but I'm ready to be the voice for everybody. I filed for Magistrate team to win and help MAGOFFIN County grow and prosper, and I'll prove it to you when I'm elected. I promise to be fair and treat everyone equal. I promise to dedicate my heart and soul on being the best magistrate for District 1 and MAGOFFIN County. Thank you for the ones who have supported me and continue to do so. I love District 1 and MAGOFFIN County. Vote Drew 2022.
Since I've been mayor, the city has built a new garage for the street department to house the equipment that we have invested in. 2 dump trucks, 2 zero-turn mowers, 3 pickups, a salt spreader, snow plow, and so much more when we literally, honest to goodness, had nothing more than a shovel and a weed eater when I took office. After going to a full-time police force for the first time in history, we bought 5 new vehicles for law enforcement and 5 new vehicles for the fire department, including a 24/7 EMS response vehicle to answer all emergency calls in the city. I believe that when you have an emergency, there is no reason someone with the city shouldn't be the first one there, and we are. We have worked so hard and cleaned up and recovered using every cent available, working with FEMA and the state to get back up and rebuild after the tornado, countless floods, and 2 major ice storms. We made Sayersville citizens a top priority with everything we've had. It took years of lobbying, improving ourselves as a responsible city after the previous administration left the waterworks bankrupt and a day away from shutting down, to not just keep our water turned on, but to improve our water quality to now being among the very best in the state. And we have secured over $1.2 million in funding for the water plant and a new water tank to make it all possible. Then there's almost $1.3 million coming in just a few months to improve Restaurant Row. Over $4.2 million for the Ivy Point project starting right now, and the millions spent on the Mountain Parkway expansion that didn't bypass Sayersville as they had intended. All of which took months and years of planning and dedication and collaboration with Frankfurt to become a reality. And perhaps the icing on the cake, the beautification of downtown, the flowers, markers, signage, the groups that we have working together to promote and build our Founders Day and 4th of July celebrations, all of which are unprecedented in Sayersville, and just the overall pride and honor we should all have when we and visitors pass through. My record and my opponent's record stand for themselves, and they are completely opposite. That's why I'm asking, that's why I am imploring that you not just vote for me, but also to not take Sayersville back to where my opponent left it, broke and desperate 11 years ago. That's why it is so important to come out and vote and stand up and say once and for all that Sayersville's had enough of the old self-serving politics of the past. Please come out and vote for your friend Pete Shepard, Mayor of Sayersville. Thank you for listening.
Just to be clear, the $3,000 cash reward still stands that we had offered. I had through the Sayersville Independent and here at Your News Today. And we have been running that in the paper, and I have discussed here in the program on more than one occasion for anyone who could bring me some hard factual video and audio evidence of someone buying their vote. To be perfectly honest, with the number of absentees and with the reports of election fraud that we are fielding, as are the Attorney General's office in MAGOFFIN County, I'm quite shocked that we haven't had someone take us up on that offer. But it still stands between now and the election, just FYI. With the election, of course, being on Tuesday, and with us seeing no excuse voting starting today. That's where it's early voting. It's not absentee voting. It's just if you want to go and avoid the election day crowds, well, you can vote early. However, you may have encountered a crowd today similar to what you would on any election day in MAGOFFIN County.
Early in-person voting started today across Kentucky. It did so in MAGOFFIN County briskly. Lines were long all day long. In fact, one of the reasons I do not have a number of those who did get out and vote today, but it was significant based on friends and family who did cast their vote today.
No excuse voting, as it's called, is today. It is tomorrow and Saturday. Anyone who's registered can go into the county courthouse, cast their ballot instead of waiting until next Tuesday. This before you is a recent tweet from our Kentucky Secretary of State about the number of absentees which had been requested. The lowest demand of absentee ballots, Todd County. Less than 1% of voters requested an absentee vote. An average for all Kentucky counties is 2.3. MAGOFFIN County, the highest in the state. This is not new for us. Over 7.5%. That means that roughly about 756 absentees requested. That's paper absentees requested here in MAGOFFIN County. That is something we'll be following up on sometime in the near future, certainly before the election, as well as hopefully with some other statistics about absentee voting and some early reports of election fraud. In other news, something else I made mention of last night in case you missed it due to the audio drop on one of our networks. Schools closing. I'd announced that, of course, MAGOFFIN County came to the realization that they were going to have to cancel class for the rest of this week, today and tomorrow, and they'd already had class out, I believe, for Monday and Tuesday for a scheduled break centered around Election Day, giving students and staff a few days to try to rest and recuperate. The number of students coming in has dropped down to the 60th percentile in some MAGOFFIN County schools, and that's, I think, near some record low numbers, and it's nothing that other school districts aren't seeing. This was what the Kentucky School Board Association actually had earlier today. It doesn't even reflect MAGOFFIN County, but does reflect that there are another 14 of of Kentucky's 171 school districts that are closing or are using NTI days because of illness. Reports of flu-like illness, rhinovirus, the list goes on. Those number of reports are quite staggering, and our school systems are, of course, seeing the result. And MAGOFFIN County joining many others who are forced to close. We'll keep you up to date on other Kentucky closures. Flu shots available at your MAGOFFIN County Health Department and your local health care provider. Just a reminder. Now on to our top report from last evening, and again with audio troubles we want to show it again tonight. I was so excited to bring this to you last evening, nearly as much so tonight, and I've already done it of course last night for our viewers on YouTube and of course on Howard's Cable, but it was yesterday that the governor, as well as Hal Rogers, as well as Judge Executive Matt Wireman and several others were thrilled to announce economic growth coming to MAGOFFIN County this time around, and what stands to be the first of more to come. It's been a courtship, if you will, of about 2 years, or maybe even a little bit more, between MAGOFFIN County Fiscal Court and the Judge's Office and Emerald Energy to relocate to right here in MAGOFFIN County. They're doing so with almost a $1.5 million investment that will create at least 25 full-time jobs. And this, of course, on the heels of the major announcement just a few days ago about the infrastructure funds to help make a build-ready site at the MAGOFFIN County Industrial Park, is paving the way for not just this announcement, but Judge Wireman says many more perhaps in the future. Yes, it's enough to really, it should make us all break out into our happy dance. After today, the governor, Hal Rogers, other state and local officials announcing job growth in MAGOFFIN County. We don't say that very often, certainly not as often as we would like to, but there's been a lot of work along those lines as of late, and this time it's Emerald Energy, an exploration land company who provides right-of-way land acquisition and project management services. They're relocating the company's headquarters to right here in MAGOFFIN County along the recent Mountain Parkway expansion, spending $1.4 million and creating 25 at least full-time jobs in the process, bringing their facilities to what will be a newly constructed home for them at the Gifford Road Industrial Park.
We actually started talking to Emerald Energy in the fall of 2019, before the pandemic, and then that kind of slowed things down for a little while, but they were eager to be here, and we were eager for them to get here. So we've been in discussions and had a lot of preliminary work been going on for the past 2 years.
It couldn't have been possible without a lot of things falling into place, a lot of investment and planning by local county government, and most recently, of course, the $1 million in funding to the MAGOFFIN County Fiscal Court through the Abandoned Mine Land Economic Revitalization Program to construct a build-ready certified site here at the industrial park, which they'll do for exactly this project.
Oh, absolutely. The AMLR grant, making this site ready, build ready, played a big factor into this company also wanting to come here. They knew that was something that was in the works, but we didn't know if we was going to get it or not. The whole application was so that we could get on-site sewer and a few other things, and that's why that grant was written. There are no guarantees of getting it. Fortunate that we did, very fortunate. But they have been here. We've already done site work as far as surveying and getting the dimensions of where they will be located. Where we're standing at right now is a little over a 5-acre tract out of the over 20 acres that we have available. And the owner, one of the things that he really liked about MAGOFFIN County was, the local leadership was involved. The spot was right here beside the Mountain Parkway, and he said when he come off the hill, he envisioned his headquarters being here. And so I know he's went to other places. He's talked to other county judges because we've had those discussions, and they finally selected MAGOFFIN County. We've been working through the Economic Development Cabinet to help get them the incentives and all the things they need to be here. And all those things finally come together here in the past couple of weeks.
And Emerald Energy's owners have already made it clear that they plan to make this a showplace for their company, which will make it a showplace for MAGOFFIN County, and one to continue to attract more business and industry to continue to fill the industrial park.
Knowing what he wants to do here and making this his showplace, I think potential businesses, when they come here looking for a place to locate, we have this Build Ready certification. We've got 15 additional acres that we can do 3 additional tracks, or we can divide into 4s, or however what they need. That should be a big draw for them to see, hey, this place is up and coming, this is where we want to be. And I, as I've said earlier, home runs are great, but base hits win ball games. This is a base hit, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to have many more hits coming in the near future.
I'll be right back with a lot happening on your MAGOFFIN Farm Bureau community calendar and more. Stay tuned. Just as quick as one arrives, it feels like the next is already about to begin. And Conley Tire doesn't want you to start any of the driving seasons unprepared. Be safe and sound and get there with the best offers on the best tires by the best manufacturers. All with service you've grown to trust. Go to conleytire.net or stop by in Staffordsville to find out more. Or give them a call at 297-2424. Parkway Pharmacy, as always, promises the quickest service with the very best care and prices, and to always have someone there to talk to when you have a question. With 3 pharmacists, curbside, drive-through, and call-ahead service. Parkway Pharmacy in Sagersville, 349-4400.
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
As meth, heroin, and fentanyl have literally exploded, there's not a single person hearing this that hasn't seen a family member or friend overdose or die, or hasn't seen their loved ones' meth-covered faces, knowing that their lives are being destroyed by some dealer who could care less. In just the past 8 years, I have taken 400 cases to state and federal courts, and my cases have led to 530 indictments. Every one of these cases have been successfully prosecuted with lengthy prison sentences. Many of my cases were adopted into the federal court system for the purpose of identifying and prosecuting the suppliers bringing this poison into our counties. As a result, we have been able to document well over 1,500 pounds of meth, heroin, and fentanyl that have been stopped from entering into our area. That's the law enforcement I want to bring to MAGOFFIN County. That's the law enforcement we must have in MAGOFFIN County. If we cut it off at the top, the rest will follow. Less thefts and overall crimes, less deaths, and less destroyed lives and families, and fewer children who are being taken out of their homes to be raised somewhere else. On day one, I will utilize my connections with Operation Unite, the DEA, ATF, and FBI, and with federal prosecutors to work jointly to aggressively combat our war on drugs. I have nearly 34 years of extensive training and experience in law enforcement. I'm a retired Kentucky State Police trooper and held many positions: senior trooper, detective, administrative sergeant, squad sergeant, and detective sergeant at Pikeville and the Drug Enforcement Section. And I am currently the narcotics investigator at the Johnson County Sheriff's Office. State law says anyone can be sheriff with absolutely no training or experience required and do nothing but collect taxes. You only have to win an election. But I know that now more than ever what we need is the exact opposite. A fair, hard-working, understanding, sensible, and most certainly qualified sheriff is what we need. And with your support, I promise to give everyone in MAGOFFIN County exactly that. Please join my efforts and be a part of a positive change and vote for Bill Meade, Republican candidate for MAGOFFIN County Sheriff. Thank you very much.
If they had to pick a favorite time of the year at the seasonal shop, this would be it. They love fall and Halloween and all the things they bring. It's the perfect place for spooky and cool t-shirts and earrings to match. And the chilly weather has them ready for sweaters, long dresses, sherpas, scarves, and boots, and so much more. It's all here. The women's fall and winter fashion is gorgeous. They have styles for any event or a cozy day at home. And it is not too early to talk about Christmas. It will be here before you know it, and their elves have already started decorating. It's magical. You could be the gingerbread house queen or king at the seasonal shop. And perhaps most importantly, their open house will be November the 7th through the 12th. So mark your calendars and don't forget to join them for their annual Christmas extravaganza. It's just so much to see and experience. And it's only at Fraser's Prater Drugs Seasonal Shop in downtown Sagersville.
I'm Kelly Collins from Golden Law Office. I began my legal career in Lexington, representing some of the nation's largest insurance companies. This experience provided me with the inside knowledge as to how the insurance company will prepare to defend your case. I'm now taking that knowledge and returning to my hometown in Eastern Kentucky to help those hurt through no fault of their own. If you or a family member have been injured in an auto or truck accident, call Golden Law Office today.
Now let's go on over to tonight's MAGOFFIN Farm Bureau Community Calendar. First up, coming up in just a few days, the Hometown Christmas in November vendor sale and more. Cakes, candies, clothing, candles, woodwork wreaths, and more. Vendors have been lining up now for the past several weeks, and they will be there November the 12th. That's Saturday, 9 till 4 at the high school. And 100% of all the vendors' fees, by the way, well, they go towards project graduation. And you can find something great for yourself or someone on your Christmas list absolutely while you're there. Without a doubt, something you'll not find anywhere else. Call the Extension office to register before the slots are full for the annual Holiday Wreath Workshop. Tuesday, the 29th, 10 till 6 at the Extension service. It's fun. It's free. Your own fresh pine wreath will be made by yourself. Call them to pre-register, 349-3216. Snacks are provided, and so is all the material. It's fun, and it's really, really fun and cool and very festive. Soup Bean Dinner coming up Friday, December the 2nd at the Holiday Bazaar and Vendor Fair, another vendor fair. This one hosted by the MAGOFFIN County Extension Service, Friday, December the 2nd, Saturday, December the 3rd. Vendors, it's just $25 for 2 days if you want to set up for this one. Homemaker members, it's just $15. Call 349-3216 to become a vendor and get a spot registered for you. 4-H country ham orders are taking place. They're now taking country ham orders at the Extension office. The deadline is the 10th of December. 4-Hers purchasing hams to enter in the Kentucky State Fair. It's $60 for 2 hams. For you and I, it's $60 each. All orders must be paid when you place your order. And, of course, you get to cure your own ham
and learn a lot and have a really cool time. A pancake breakfast coming up at the Lakefront Church of God. Sorry, but this is this Saturday. I've got them out of order. This Saturday, 9 till 2. Pancakes, sausage, eggs, syrup, hash browns, all that you can stand. Eat once or twice, 9 till 2 this Saturday at the Lakefront Church of God. A big schedule change from our friends at the Sayersville National Bank. They're having to undergo a serious computer system upgrade, and as such, the branch bank and their telephone banking will be closed and offline this Saturday. Now, their ATMs will be on at both locations, the main and the branch, and then internet banking will be available, but the branch bank will have to be closed, and their telephone banking system will have to be down for this major upgrade. They apologize and thank you at the same time for your understanding. And I don't know if I'm going to have to announce this one too much longer because they go quick if they haven't gone already, but the Burning Fork Community Church is selling pecans, 1-pound bags of the freshest pecans for baking or snacking for the holidays. Call 349-2172, my friend Alice Turner, or Margaret Arnott at 422-0145 to get your order in. And call me to get your order in. Just kidding. You don't have to order. You just got to tell me, and I'll tell everyone about it. It doesn't cost anything. Never has. Never will. And that includes birthdays and anniversaries. And remember, we love to print birthdays, birth announcements, and anniversaries in the Independent as well. And they don't cost anything there either. But you don't send those to me. You send those to, on the bottom of your screen, Heather at SayersvilleIndependent.com. Next, in nightly obituaries, brought to you by the MAGOFFIN County Funeral Home. Services are going to start Saturday morning at 11 for 75-year-old Nelson Lovely of Gun Creek, who passed away this Monday, the son of the late Ossie and Hortense Jackson Lovely. He's preceded in death by his wife, Janet, as well as brothers Mitchell and Rex in Garland, and sisters Leela Mae Lovely, Bessie Archer, Dottie Kusiak, Louise Fletcher, and Kay Elsie. He's survived by his sons, Larry Jr. Salyers and Ronnie Lovely, and Tim and Todd Lovely, and his sister, Charlotte Elsie, and his special friend, Phyllis Tackett, as well as his 10 grandkids and 11 great-grandkids. Again, services start at 11 Saturday morning from the Sayersville Funeral Home. Visitation will begin Friday evening after 5. 70-year-old Dr. Thomas Allen Smith of Walker Hill in Staffordsville passed away Friday. Survived by his wife, Linda, father Thomas, son Brandon Smith, daughters Sarah Zamita and Rebecca Smith, and grandchild Serena Zamita, and sister Nancy Murphy, as well as his brothers Larry, Randy, Jerry, Ronnie, and Donnie Smith. A memorial service honoring the life of Dr. Thomas Allen Smith will be held Saturday at 2 from the Church of God Prophecy in Prestonsburg. The family will welcome friends Saturday after 1 prior to that. Sayersville Funeral Home is in charge of the arrangements. And lastly tonight, services have been set for 90-year-old Wilma Allen of Gifford Road. She passed away Wednesday, preceded in death by her husband Grover. She's survived by her daughters Rhonda Pack and Charlotte Foley, 2 special nieces Garnet Amix and Judy Collinsworth, and services in her honor will start Sunday afternoon at 1 from the Sayersville Funeral Home. Visitation will be Saturday after 5 that evening.
I'm Bill Tinker. I've spent the past 19 years defending insurance companies in car crashes, truck crashes, and slip and falls. Are you involved in a case like that? Is the insurance company giving you the runaround about your medical bills, your benefits, or your lost wages? Contact me at McFarland Tinker Law Office. With our combined experience of over 58 years, we're here ready to work for you.
The reassurance of getting your medications and over-the-counter needs at Sayersville's oldest and most trusted pharmacy, the convenience of curbside pickup and call-ahead service, and the fact that you can walk in, order to go, or sit down and get gourmet quality hot fudge brownies, nachos, shakes, coffees, hot dogs with homemade sauce, desserts, and more makes it more than your hometown Good Neighbor Pharmacy. It's a destination in downtown Sayersville, Frazier's Prater Drugstore. It doesn't get any sweeter than that. There's just no denying it. Some things you crave all year long, but some of those things you crave even more when the leaves start to change and fall and there's a chill in the air. And our famous fresh-baked chicken pot pies are at the very top of that list. They're a warm, tasty, delicious snack or a meal in its own perfect little box at your Sayersville Lee's Famous Recipe.
Hello, MAGOFFIN County. I'm David Neal Howard, candidate for MAGOFFIN County Sheriff. I want to thank each and every one of you for allowing me to come into your homes and giving me a few minutes of your valuable time. The Sheriff's Office is much bigger than one person. That is why from day one, I will be seeking out your opinion, your support, and your help, not only in dealing with our drug problems, but in every situation, to make MAGOFFIN County a safer and a better place to live and to raise our families. Being a fourth generation raised here on my family's farm, my roots run deep here in MAGOFFIN County. So does my passion for the people of our town. I'll make you two promises. Number one, I will always treat everyone with fairness and respect. Number two, I will work day and night to fulfill the duties of the Sheriff's Office. And on November the 8th, I humbly ask you to vote for me, David Neal Howard, as your next MAGOFFIN County Sheriff. May God bless you and your family.
Are you tired of the same old cell phone? Want a new phone, but really don't want to pay the hundreds of dollars up front for it? Appalachian Wireless has a deal for you. Get the phone you actually want instead of settling for a cheaper phone with the Appalachian Advantage Plan. Instead of paying $600 or more for the best phone, simply pay the taxes up front and then a few bucks a month more on your monthly bill. Stop by your local Appalachian Wireless store or dealer today for more information. It's the better, simpler way to pay. And it's called the Appalachian Advantage because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Hello, I'm Dr. Cheryl Stalder-Cheney, podiatrist currently located in Sattersville, Kentucky. I've been servicing patients within Eastern Kentucky for the past 20 years.
Our feet are the foundation for everything we do, and whether you're suffering from fractures or injuries, need custom orthotics, diabetic foot care, sports medicine, heel pain, wound care, or anything else foot related, relief is just one step away.
Welcome to Hope Family Podiatry Center, where we take care of all of your podiatric needs.
Located on the Parkway next to Hope Pediatrics.
It's first round of playoff action tomorrow night for viewing and all Kentucky high school football teams. Let's take a quick run through and see out of our four watched teams here on Your News Today, who's playing who and where and how they fared, of course, with a quick recap last week for the final game of the regular season.
The Hornets on the road at Morgan County came back with a big win to wrap up their regular season, 40-34 last Friday night. Glad to say that puts Coach DeRossa and his Hornets at a 4-6 respectable season, 1-3 in their district, and that comes, of course, on the heels of wins over Knott County and Bellevue and Floyd Central. That sets them up for postseason play this Friday night. They'll be on the road, of course, with a 4-6 record, and that takes them to Ashland Blazer. Now, Ashland Blazer is always tough right now. They're 6-4, finishing up their season. They've won their last 4 in a row. Wins against E-Town and East Carter, Russell, and Greenup. The last 4 wins, taking on the Hornets once again at home for Blazer. Johnson Central and the Golden Eagles, a rout over Belfry last Friday night. You know, those things didn't happen not so long ago to Belfry, but the Centrals did it. They're 8-2 on the season. They're hosting Lincoln County this Friday night, and Central the favorite, Lincoln County coming in at 2-8. The flip or opposite of Johnson County, who is of course 8-2. They're 4-0, undefeated in their district. Again, hosting Lincoln County tomorrow night at 7:30. Paintsville, the Tigers, well, they didn't get to even start their final game of the regular season. One or some refs didn't make it, no shows for unknown reasons. And it was senior night, and they didn't get a play, so they'll wrap it up with a 4-5 season for a total of 9 games played, 2-1 in their district, and they're hosting Bracken County this Friday night. Bracken County is an 8-2 team who's amassed 218 points and only let 93 be scored against them. It's going to be a tough run for the Tigers. We wish them well. Lawrence County and the Bulldogs are wrapping up an 8-2 regular season with only their second loss of the season coming last Friday night at Raceland, to Raceland at home for the Bulldogs. Nevertheless, 8-2, good run for Lawrence County. 7-32 was the final score this past Friday night. That takes them on to this Friday night where they're hosting East Carter in first-round action. East Carter coming in at 6-4. I think they've amassed 265 points and let 176 score against them. Lawrence County has scored 352 and only allowed 178 scored this season.
And now on to your Licking Valley RECC 7-day, where we have some clouds and some showers and some winds, sure, but also some really nice fall weather still to talk about and enjoy. If you've been putting off raking those leaves, well, good job. Put them off a little bit longer because the winds this weekend will likely get the majority of them. We got a cold front, a strong one coming. Not giving us the greatest of shower chances, but definitely some windy conditions and some clouds to go along with it. Let's get there slowly. Talk about tonight. 45 degrees for your overnight low, mostly clear skies and a little patchy fog after midnight and early in the morning, and calm winds leading into tomorrow, where a beautiful Friday, gosh, the Breeders' Cup at Keeneland. Oh my gosh, that would be so nice. If you're going, congratulations. You're going to enjoy the weather. Hair day, not so much, maybe. Fog in the morning, sunny. We're going to see 76 here in eastern Kentucky, maybe around that, I believe, as well, in the Lexington-Fayette County area. Winds tomorrow, not so bad, 5 miles per hour or so, but it's tomorrow night. They'll probably start to kick up and maybe up to 10, 18 miles per hour at times. And then certainly so on your Saturday. Look at that, 78 to 20% chance of showers on your Saturday. Southwesterly winds up to 35 miles per hour for us on your Saturday. So cloudy, warm, upper 70s, but windy. Sunday, 75 and 57, partly sunny. That cold front has some lingering showers into the latter half of your weekend there with 30% on Sunday. Then we clear up for at least a few days. We'll hold on to the mid-70s Monday, mostly sunny, 75, a beautiful, beautiful way to start the week. Election day, another winner, 73-49. Remember, of course, live election results here on whatever you're watching Your News Today, whether it be in the internet, Foothills, or Howard's. And then we will see, of course, Wednesday, cooler conditions, but still with some sun above. Partly sunny, 68. Thursday, 66, partly sunny, and a slight chance of showers towards the middle and into the end of next week. So, before I close, right now, plans are to have Halloween coverage, extensive Halloween coverage for the majority of tomorrow night's program, with the exception of possibly any breaking news that we may have to cover. I'm going to spend the rest of the evening continuing to edit all the Thriller dance, the other dances, the Ghost Walk, and a lot of other footage that I still have to put the wraps on. So look for that show and a special report on tomorrow's program. But like I said, if any other news of great importance should arise, that will be included in tomorrow night's program when we'll see you then, right? Certainly hope to. Good night. Thanks for watching.